You are listening to the It's Your Time podcast, and I'm your host, certified life coach and career mentor, Michelle Arnold Burke. In today's episode, I'm discussing power and purpose. Welcome to the It's Your Time podcast, the podcast where busy professionals like you get the practical solutions and support you need to gain control of your schedule so you can strive to be the best in your career, but without the stress and overwhelm. If you're looking to increase your energy and decrease your stress, you are in the right place. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast, friends. Happy New Year. How are you doing on this 6th day into all of the New Year's resolutions? And how were your holidays? Hopefully magical. Isn't that a fun word to consider as we enter into the new year? Imagine if we believed it could all be magical for the entire year. What would that even look like for you? Really think about that. As kids, we are so into imagination and magic. Think about the Tooth Fairy, Santa, how fun the holidays were. Oh, and I remember working at a daycare where we had leprechauns that left footprints from a visit during St. Patrick's Day as the kids napped. It was so much fun. And we dreamed as kids about going to college, right? Getting a job, maybe getting married, maybe having a kid. And then what happens? We get older and somehow we start thinking more about what could go wrong in life versus what could go right. We thought about what we wanted in the future as kids, and we didn't look to our past as much as we do now for evidence that we can actually accomplish our goals, right? We just dreamed. We need more of that, friends. I mean, take a moment and consider, what are some things that you may have wanted to have in life? Let's think about a promotion or a new job. Maybe it was a partner, whatever it was for you. And maybe it didn't go as expected. And you had the thought, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I'll go back to what I know. Okay, now I want you to think of little kids. Like, I hear stories from my sister about my goddaughter learning to walk, and she is fearless. She just keeps trying to go out on her own, and then she falls down. Imagine if she or us back in the day decided, well, this doesn't seem to be for me. I keep falling down. I'll just go back to what I know, crawling. No, we continued to go after what we wanted. We fall, we get back up. We fall, we get back up. And we build our strength along the way. And eventually, we're all walking just fine. You have to keep going. And you have to know what you want. Did you hear me there? You have to know what you want. There has to be clarity. And today, I'm talking about power and purpose. And clarity is so important. Not what you think everyone else expects of you, not what you think everyone else dreams for you. No, I want you to think of things that you want in your life. And I'm going to take a couple different angles here as I discuss what that might look like for you when I'm talking about power and purpose. And we'll really be going into the topic of purpose this weekend when we have our free class. So that's on Saturday, January 8th, Finding Your Purpose. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern. Are you coming? I would love to have you join. Mark your calendar. Again, January 8th, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to do teaching, coaching, networking, fun. And if you want to join or if you want the replay, just head to michelleburkecoaching.com/purpose to get on the email list. And I also want you to consider, as we're going through this episode, if you've never done this before, finding your word of the year. It's super simple. It's a word that you will use in an intentional way to guide your decisions throughout the year. Some folks will do resolutions at the start of the new year. Some set new goals. Some might do vision boards, which I do have a vision board party planned in a couple of weeks with the family. I am sure you will hear all about it. But I do want to talk about the idea of your word for the year because mine is power. And the definition that I found that really resonated. So give yourself a little time when you're thinking of the word and look it up. Have some fun with it. Is it something that resonates for you? For me, the definition was true power comes alive when you love what you do. When what you do aligns with your values and you follow your intuition and creativity. The more time we spend doing in these spaces, the more we are true to who we are. In true power, you are easily focused, you are motivated, and disciplined, which being lit up by what I love to do is totally in alignment with my human design as a sacral generator. So it obviously makes sense to go with it, right? And let me share what came up as far as I'm looking at it with intentionality throughout the year to maybe give you a better idea as you start to consider what that word might be for you. Power, for me, is stepping into being more of myself, more powerfully. Which, as a side note, I kind of joke and say, I often filter here. So if you already think I'm crazy, you better watch out for what's coming, right? It also looks like stepping up to more powerfully help the clients that I love to be able to make changes that they so truly desire. It means reading more about the power of belief, the power of the subconscious mind, the power of manifesting, the power in feeling feelings, the power in being courageous, and the power of authenticity. And I will give you a sneak peek when I'm talking about the power of the subconscious mind and the power of feeling feelings. We will have an amazing guest coming up in just a couple of weeks to talk about both of those. So stay tuned. Power also looks like more inspiration from powerful women mentors. Embracing the power of love, the power of acceptance, and learning more about my unique superpowers and owning what I discover in order to share more of it. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to step into your superpowers and be able to share it with others as well. Knowing also the power is in what I make the numbers mean, not the actual number. And I want to tell you, I work with clients that always look to their sales numbers as some sort of indication as to their success or worthiness. It is not the actual number, my friends. It is what we make the number mean, and that can also go for the number on the scale, the number in your bank account. Like, open up your minds to what we make numbers mean. Power also, for me, looks like increasing the power of vulnerability, which I go back to the first one about being more myself, and trusting the power of my gut reaction. Is it a hell no or a hell yes? The power of slowing down in order to speed up. And I heard an amazing quote this morning about this concept. It was from Samuel from Peloton, where I get all of my great words of wisdom that I share with you guys here. In the depths of the most powerful ocean, there are no waves. There is only calm and stillness. This is so important to start considering. Everything that you ever have, want, or need is already within you. You must take the time to listen to what your internal voice is telling you is true for you. It is not all of the external forces that determine our life. And you know how much I love the ocean, right? So this idea of the power of the ocean and the power of calm and stillness within is so perfect. And I also think there's power in paying attention to what our body is telling us. The power of being in the long game and the power of being responsible for the energy I bring everywhere and cultivating higher vibrations in order to bring about change. So those are some examples for me. What would it be for you? What would be your word of the year and why? I would love for you to connect with me on the socials. So either Instagram or Facebook, I'm Michelle Burke Coaching, and LinkedIn, I'm Michelle Burke. Just send me a DM. We can go back and forth. It can be so much fun. Okay, now let's chat more on to purpose. What is purpose? What is your purpose? Here's the thing. We often think that there is this piano of purpose that's going to fall from the sky, and then we will know what our purpose is. So we sit around and we wait, and shockingly, it never seems to arrive. The purpose fairy does not just wave her magic wand over your head, and then all of a sudden, you know what your purpose is. It doesn't go that way. You have to decide what your purpose is. And you can also change your purpose at any given time frame in your life. And the way that you decide is you start paying attention to what brings you joy. How do you want to spend your time? What are you interested in? Because your interests become your passions, and your passions become your joy. But you have to know where to start. And that's what we'll be talking about in the upcoming workshop. We'll discuss what is purpose, how to find your purpose, where we get it wrong, and what holds us back, defining your purpose, the skills that you need to develop in order to live into your purpose, which include things like core values, thought management, feelings management, taking inspired action, making decisions, time management, so many things. It's going to be fun to gain some clarity around all of it. So again, michelleburkecoaching.com/purpose to sign up, and I'll do some teaching, we'll do some coaching, and really setting time for you to think about what that is for you. I talk about content consumption here, and I talk about actually getting to work on your life. So this workshop is the opportunity for you to not only consume the information, but to take the time to develop a plan and define your purpose. And if you're already on the email list, or if you sign up and you can't make it live, I will send a replay of the teaching portion. And of course, we can always have two-way conversations via email. So once you go through the course, you can reply with any questions once you have completed your work, your purpose, the most important part of the entire workshop. Now, I've told you before that my purpose here is to be able to make a ripple effect in the world where more women know the true power they hold, and they then teach that to even younger women. I want more women to know their worth, to be rich, to be successful, and that is all determined by you. You determine what rich is, and you determine what successful is for yourself, not what society says. And that looks different for everyone. And that's okay. It's perfect. I want to be able to teach young girls like my nieces to have a different life than many of us may have had. I want them to be able to prioritize their opinion of themselves over the opinions that others have of them. And it's what I want for all of us. So we have some work to do, friends, and it starts here, little by little. We make consistent changes in our lives and the habits that we do each day, and that is what leads to lasting, possibly generational changes. And now that sounds pretty magical. I'm going to believe It's a completely magical, powerful, purposeful year that we have ahead of us on so many levels. Okay, friends, that's what I have for you today. Let's circle back next week. I hope to see you Saturday. And for now, stay safe and make it a great day. Take care. Did you know you can take this work to a deeper level with me one-on-one? Go to michelleburkecoaching.com and click on Get Started to begin.